I did not have the opportunity to make it for the full review, but I was really looking forward to shooting the CZ75, the BD. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
CZ75 BD. What does that stand for?
The B is a model that came out in like 76 or 77. The D is decocker.
Okay. You know, what I can tell you already about this is old school CZ, because I always liked them for a long time until I didn't. But I like this. This is a handsome gun like I remember them. I love the exaggerated, really curved trigger in that it's bright. Those are in the texture on the grip is great. The thumb rest here is awesome. I appreciate that the rear sights are finely marked, with the front sight being more brightly marked. I haven't shot this yet. This is literally just...
I put it in her hands.
Yeah. But I'm excited to. I've got a full mag. I believe it's full mag. This is one of your compliant mags?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a 10 rounder.
I'm going to decock.
And folks, if you're just tuning in and unaware, the CZ75 was a patron's choice. This was a patron-funded, patron-decided gun. Yeah, it's got a sticker with a serial number on it. I left it on there. Why not?
If it affects my shooting, it's your fault. The C-Zone is out there quite a ways. Double action. That's a little bit of a long pull for me. I don't know if you can see that with my little short stubby fingers. I can bring it in. But not as bad as some others that I've shot. That is not double action.
It's pretty smooth, isn't it?
There was nothing. That's nothing. That's crazy for double action. Okay, I'll slow down again. You know, I liked it. I don't even need any more rounds. I can tell you exactly what I think so far, because I'm going to probably take some more. Although this texture is really aggressive because of the width of the gun and the size of my hands, I started losing grip because this back here is so smooth. A little bit of texturing back here and in the front would help me a lot. Sorry about that. So that's one improvement I would appreciate if I would, I would make if I were customizing this for myself. While I appreciate this curved trigger because it allows me to get on that double action really well, and I'm going to have to take a couple more rounds to finish this thought, but I need to know if it makes me change where I put my finger in the trigger to do those follow-up shots, because I didn't consider that. And
that's something that when the flat trigger craze hit, a lot of striker-fired shooters never realized that on a DASA, part of that curve is to make sure that the trigger reach isn't insane when it's in double action. And we've actually experimented with converting a DASA to a flat face trigger, and that makes the double action almost impossible.
Even that slide release was really nice.
It's almost like it's made by people that have been practicing this gun for almost 50 years.
My finger ends up perfectly placed on this trigger for me to be able to make those follow-up shots. So that extra bit of reach is not concerning for me if I were in, a high anxiety, not a high anxiety, but a high adrenaline situation. I wouldn't be concerned about missing that double action shot at all. It's perfectly weighted for a defensive situation.
However, and here's my big criticism, without thinking about it, high stress, grip and rip the slide right now. Did you miss a little bit? Well, of course, this is without practice, but I struggle. My finger digits are too long, and like my joint to end of finger is longer than the slide is tall. And so if I try to grab that slide, I end up grabbing the frame and trying to rip the gun out of my hand. That's something that could be trained out.
I think the reason that could be different, I have smaller hands.
Yeah.
Sometimes on those bigger guns, I get too much real estate. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I just did it.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to really concentrate to do it.
Double action. Single. Uh-oh. Dadgummit. Now it'll go in. No, it won't.
Will be a feed problem.
Yeah. It didn't want to come out of the mag.
Huh. Sure sounds good.
It does. I've spent quite a bit of time training my eyes to shoot both eyes open. I'm not one or the other dominant to the extent that I can't do that. And these sights for me right there, similar to using a red dot. Once that I know my front sight is where it needs to be and I maintain that, you know, sight vision back here, I was good. When I missed, I had an eye shut. And so I was over guessing. But overall, this is about the performance of the gun, and I am thoroughly impressed. I am noticing a bit of bump on my thumb. And I think that that's just because it's a little bit short here. Not that it needs to be wider, but that it's a little short.
Well, and when I reviewed it, it felt too narrow for me, and it bit, and it made I didn't get hammer bite, but I did get beaver tail bite, if you will, from that pressure. When Teya first picked this up, she said, no, this gun's not going to work. And I looked, and her hand positioning put the beaver tail awfully close to her knuckle. However, now that you've shot it some, what changed? Did you change your grip, or is it just different live fire than it is dry handling?
I think it's just different live, and understanding how the gun and I are going to work together. That the size of the gun alluded to it's going to have some kick. And so I was a little bit worried about the way that the girth of this was going to affect my ability to maintain my grip, but I didn't seem to have that problem. The problem that is in the grip in my hand is this smooth, this lack of texturing on the front and back here. If it just had a little bit of this, that'd be amazing. But I'm really glad that I got to try this. And I look forward to shooting it again. Thanks.
Thank you, patrons, for suggesting this and for making it possible.